My childhood growing up in Malawi was really a happy childhood. Growing up, we kind of lived in a bubble, I think. Not, there was a big Indian community. We did a lot of sort of, gatherings and just, growing up was happy. I went to private school and all the teachers were English. And just have happy memories of growing up there. So kind of oblivious of all the, other stuff that was going on at the time. So this is my twin and I when we were young, very young, nappies. So mainly they're in Malawi, actually, growing up. So this is the lake. We were a bit of a novelty in Malawi, actually. There was not very many twins around. The cooking in Malawi was predominantly done by Mum, but we also had a cook, so he would do all the prep. And as I got older, I was interested in what happened in the kitchen, so I'd kind of sneak in there and, help him, or, and he sort of taught me quite a lot of stuff as well. But mainly it would be Mum. He'd do all the prep, and then she'd come in and finish it off, really. So today I'm going to cook a traditional lentil curry dish that we grew up with eating on a Sunday. So it's kind of like a traditional Sunday dish for us, so very similar to the roast would be for the Western families. This is mung dal. I've had it soaking overnight, and then I've just washed it, and I'm about to cook it. So lentils, really healthy. Vegetarian, so really good for pulses, their pulses, and so big part of Indian diet. Malawi being, an African country, there was quite a lot of turmoil politically, and Mum and Dad didn't want us to grow up in such an environment. And because we were part of the Commonwealth, we all had British passports. And Dad had studied in the UK, so he felt that we could have a better life there, really. So we moved from Malawi to the UK when I was 17. I left to come here for a year, so I was going to travel around New Zealand, do a bit of nursing, and then go back home. And along my travels, I met my husband, and the rest is history. So I've got two going, and I tend to do this for most of the dishes I make, is that the kids don't like it too hot, so I put chili in ours and I don't put chili in theirs. So my kids are a little bit fussy. Zara is 10. She goes to Sunnybray Primary School in Hillcrest. We chose the school before we decided where we were going to live. I was calling around the different primary schools trying to find somewhere that I would know that she'd be well supported. And actually Sunnybray was the only primary school that had a learning support class that could support her sort of extra needs. Zara's my little Indian. I call her my little Indian because she loves all the traditional Indian food, and she just loves sort of my part of the family and that culture, that history, whereas Adam's pretty, typical boy, I suppose, but, he can take it or leave it. But I think she's, she just loves everything Indian. The board is a special board called a patlo. It just provides a little bit of stability when you're rolling the roti, and also the edges, it's a little bit higher so you're not hitting the surface. And also it's just that whole tradition, and the roti just rolls on its own, and it's just lovely. Kind of reminds me of my mum. There you go. Right, give it a good roll. There we go. Hang on a second. Just put a little more flour on it. Yeah.
I do it.
There you go. You can do it now. Oh, awesome. A little bit more. So Nani would be so impressed with you, Zara. wouldn't she? Nani would say, look at that, Zara's making a roti. My food would be a fusion Indian, because I think sometimes people think, oh, Indian food is, you know, really difficult to cook. But actually, the way I cook and using some of the simple spices, it's just a really lovely blend of East and West. For me, food celebrates life. When the kids come home, I want to sit down at the table and have a good family meal together, talk about the day. It just brings everyone together as a family, and I just think that's really important.
Good.
Lovely. It was good.
As good as always.
Amazing.